Hello, I'm Michael Shinneberry with Remote Well Solutions. Spend a few minutes with us here to learn about our new product that can reduce burdens on your time and operating costs while improving livestock watering capabilities and reliability. As cattle ranchers in New Mexico ourselves, we know that water is the key to productive livestock operations. Where utility power is not available, we've seen and experienced firsthand the water production problems that many ranchers are faced with. We've also seen the different steps that many have taken to solve their water problems and the problems with some of those solutions. Windmills are great tools for producing water, but they're very expensive to purchase and can be expensive to maintain. Depending on water quality, re-leathering may need to be done as often as once a year. Solar water production is sometimes a nice solution in some situations, but with deeper wells, the water output on a typical system tends to be very limited with very low discharge rates. It's dependent on sun exposure too. Nighttime hours and cloudy days can reduce the water production of the system. The initial purchase and maintenance costs of the system can be quite high as well. Generators supporting standard deep well pumps at the well location is another way many are addressing their water production issues. This approach usually delivers much higher quantities of water in much less time and can often have the least expensive upfront cost, but the fuel used driving out to the well site and the time burdens of the trips can get very expensive over the years. We've seen instances where weekly trips over an hour each way need to be made just to put a few gallons of fuel into the generator to fill a storage tank with water for the week. The following week, the process begins again. Add the unknowns of gasoline or diesel fuel cost along with the extra wear on your vehicle, possible wages, and so on. This solution can be very expensive. Other and even bigger problems that aren't visible to the eye but are very much real are the electrical dynamics that take place when a generator is started and stops under an electrical load. What this means is starting the generator or stopping the generator, whether by turning off the off or kill switch on the generator, or by allowing the unit to run out of fuel while the pump is on. The electric motor on the deep well pump is designed to a specific criteria. This means that for it to operate properly, it needs to be connected to an electrical supply that provides electricity that meets this criteria. If the motor sees change below or above these voltage values, damage can result and failure will in time occur to the motor and possibly the generator as well. Here at Remote Well Solutions, we felt that a solution to these problems we see was to take a dependable generator and add an intelligent control. So we developed a controller that will operate in ambient temperatures well below freezing and well above 120 degrees Fahrenheit. This controller will sense the level of water in your storage tank, and when it sees a low level, will start the generator, allow it to warm up, and then turn on the pump in the well and fill the storage to a full level. After the tank is full, the system will turn off the pump and allow the generator to warm down and then shut off, ready for the next cycle. If you have a well with a weak output, the controller will sense a loss of flow condition and shut the system down, protecting both the pump and the generator. We chose a propane fuel generator for several reasons, but the main one is the fuel supply is easily expandable. Just get another tank, a few fittings, and you've doubled your operational time very easily. In some instances, a 250-gallon tank can be placed on site and the tank placed on the local delivery schedule for refueling. Now, if the fuel supply is near empty, you don't want the system to run out of fuel while the pump is running, so the controller will sense a low fuel condition and shut down the system, and that prevents damage to the pump or generator. It will also prevent the system from trying to restart when there's no fuel, which would leave you with a dead battery. Propane is a domestic fuel. It's not at the mercy of foreign government controls. It qualifies for the farm fuel or motor discounts where applicable. On a typical 7.5 GPM well at 4,000 feet above sea elevation, a full 25-pound bottle like the one you barbecue grill with will produce more than 2,000 gallons of water with our system. The controller will be set for the time it takes to fill your storage. When it sees that the pump is filling longer than it should take, maybe because of a broken pipe or float on a drinker, the controller can recognize this as a problem and will shut the system down instead of just pumping water out on the ground. This is a selectable feature and at the customer's choice. In the winter, if your pipes are not well protected from freezing, the system will detect a no-flow condition and shut down. Then, it will wait 12 hours to a time opposite the frozen period and try a startup again automatically, as long as the temperature is above 40 degrees Fahrenheit and the system is still monitoring for a no-flow condition. If the generator started, but the breaker was tripped or a wire had become disconnected, the controller will recognize this condition, and instead of running and burning fuel for nothing, it will perform a shutdown. The controller has a small LCD screen displaying maintenance data and reasons for shutdown. Hours of operation to date. Total gallons of water pumped to date. Total gallons of water since last reset. Time to clean the air filter. Time to change the oil. Time to change the spark plug. Low fuel shutdown. No flow shutdown. No electrical power tripped breaker shutdown. No AC power shutdown. Long run time, possible leak, broken float, shutdown. Comparing our system to the solutions we now see, our system gives you the benefits of the higher water flows than usually seen from solar systems, and lower maintenance costs than usually seen with windmills. This system can add peace of mind to your operation and relieve you of the burden and expenses of repeated trips to remote sites using an on-site non-intelligent generator, adding life to both your pump and generator. We see this as the closest thing to having utility power. Hooking the system up is actually fairly easy. The generator needs to be located on flat, level ground. The controller must be located close enough to the generator so the cables can reach between the two units. The float switch has to be installed in the storage tank. The fuel tank needs to be as close as possible to the system so that a cable can be connected between a tank pressure switch and the controller. Last, on systems where there is any chance at all for freezing or a no-flow condition, a flow switch needs to be installed into the water pipe between the pump and the water storage. There is communication between each of these pieces and the controller, so there is an electrical connection that must be made. All of the connections are by a keyed plug to a matching receptacle. Otherwise, if it will plug in, that's where it goes. If the plug doesn't mate to the receptacle, then it doesn't plug in at that spot. The system can't be hooked up wrong. Protection for the system from livestock must be provided by the customer. Now, this generator will require the same maintenance as any combustion engine. That means cleaning the air filter, changing the oil and spark plug on the recommended schedule are strongly recommended. The manufacturer's life expectancy of a generator is more than 2,000 hours at 50% load. To illustrate 2,000 hours of operation, if a car is driven 2,000 hours at 60 miles per hour, it would equal 120,000 miles. 2,000 hours of pumping on a 7.5 GPM pump would equal 900,000 gallons of water. We also use a pure synthetic motor oil, which should add to the life of the unit and ease of starting. We're in the process of submitting this system to the Department of Agriculture for the Equip Cost Share Program. When approved, this can help ranchers and farmers with the purchase of the system to parties which qualify. Wells come in different depths and flow capabilities. This determines the horsepower size of the pump. The horsepower is what determines the size of generator that will be needed to run the system. Often, we see the old, if a little does a little bit of good, then a lot does a lot of good approach to running a well. A large generator and a small pump are an inefficient match which wastes fuel and money. We'll take certain information from you and size a system for your needs. We know and understand that the upfront cost is so important. We intend to do everything possible to work with the customer and to keep costs reasonable. On deeper wells 400 feet and deeper, we expect to be priced about 65% to 70% of a comparable solar system with the same flow rates. If you feel like there's a chance we can help you, if you'd like more information or you'd like a quote, then please give us a call, 480-510-1496, 480-510-1496. It doesn't cost anything to visit. Thanks for watching.